Hello my friends, it's Danny, and today we're making a super fun, healthy, versatile snack. We're gonna do energy balls 3 different ways. Now these little energy bites are so delicious. They're packed with whole food nutrition. They have a healthy balance of protein, fat, and fiber. Plus, they're all made in one bowl. They're no bake, and they're perfect for meal prep. So here's the flavor lineup. We're gonna start with a cozy pumpkin spice energy ball. Then we're gonna do matcha green tea protein balls. And then of course, I'm gonna finish with a classic and one of the most popular flavors on my website, and that is a peanut butter oatmeal chocolate chip ball. And I'm telling you, you're definitely gonna wanna add at least one of these to your weekend meal prep because they make the perfect grab and go snack on busy weekdays. They are also perfect before or after a workout. And they're delicious when you just pack them into a little lunchbox for both kids and adults. So I'm gonna start with my pumpkin chip energy balls since we are rolling into the fall season. But before I dive in, I just wanna take a moment to thank today's sponsor, Element. Element is hands down my favorite electrolyte company. They are specifically designed for people like you and I who wanna live a healthy, active lifestyle and take a less processed, more whole food approach to healthy eating. And I am gonna share more on them in just a bit. Okay, so since we're heading into the autumn season, let's start with my pumpkin chip energy balls. They're so yummy, they're so cozy, and they could not be any easier. So you're gonna get a nice big bowl, and we're gonna start with 3/4 of a cup or about 60 grams of rolled oats. By the way, if you like precise exact measurements, I have all the recipes linked in the description box below, and if you click over to my website, you will find both the metric and the imperial measurements for all of these recipes. Then I have a 1/4 cup of all natural peanut butter. It is important to try to look for a peanut butter that is loose and fairly pourable like you see mine is here, because if the peanut butter is too dry and crumbly, that's definitely going to affect the texture of your energy balls. Then I have a 1/4 cup of canned pumpkin puree. Remember, you want this to be puree and not pumpkin pie mix. Pumpkin pie mix has a lot of added sugar to it. You just want canned pumpkin, just the puree. About 2½ tablespoons of real maple syrup. This could also be honey if that's what you have on hand. And then we have our spices. I have a 1/4 teaspoon of ground cinnamon, a 1/4 teaspoon of pumpkin pie spice, and a hefty pinch of sea salt. Now keep in mind, whenever you're making anything pumpkin, the actual flavor comes from the spices, right? It's the cinnamon, the nutmeg, the ginger, ultimately a pumpkin pie spice mix. So you never want to skip the spices or you're not going to get the flavor that you're looking for. And then we're adding some seeds. We've got a tablespoon each of ground flax seeds, chia seeds, and then some creamy hemp seeds. So lots of plant power. And then last but not least, we have a few tablespoons of chocolate chips. These could be mini chocolate chips, regular chocolate chips. If you wanted less sugar, you could skip the chocolate chips and do cacao nibs instead. They all work. Then I'm just gonna use a spatula, and you just wanna start to mix this batter together, okay? I usually start with the spatula and then I switch over to my hands to finish it off. You're gonna see that when the batter is ready, if you pick it up and pinch it a little bit, it sticks together. So from here, you're gonna scoop about a tablespoon into the palm of your hand, and I do a combination of kind of like rolling it like a meatball and then pinch shaping it with my fingertips. Ultimately, you just wanna shape it into a little ball like I have here, and then what I do is I just place that into an airtight container that I've lined with a little bit of parchment paper and repeat. Now, this is gonna get you 9 energy balls, but keep in mind with this recipe and all the ones I'm showing you today, you can easily double or triple them depending on how many energy balls you want to make. They're really easy to scale up or down. Once they're ready to roll, I just pop on a lid, and then these can store in the fridge for up to 2 weeks, or if you want them to last longer, you could put them in the freezer for a couple of months. And I just love this flavor with a cup of coffee. It's like taking a little bite of pumpkin pie, but leveled up. Okay, next we are switching gears to something a little bit lighter, a little bit brighter, and I'm gonna do a matcha green tea protein energy ball. So good. So here's how we're gonna do this one. You're going to start with a 1/2 cup of good old-fashioned rolled oats. So that's about 40 grams of rolled oats. Then I'm gonna add in a 1/4 cup of almond butter. Now I do the almond butter because it has a more mild flavor than peanut butter. Keep in mind cashew butter would be another great option here. I really wanna let the flavor of the matcha shine through. So that's why I like a more mild flavor nut butter for this recipe. Then I'm adding in a 1/4 cup of vanilla protein powder. There are a lot of great brands on the market these days, and if you don't have a go-to favorite, I promise you I have some linked for you down in the description box below. I've tried them all, and these are the ones that I find myself using the most often. Okay, then we've got the star of the show. I'm doing 2 teaspoons of a matcha powder. This is gonna add a gorgeous, vibrant green color. It also provides antioxidants, and it's gonna give you a little pick-me-up without that crash that you might get from, say, a cup of coffee, even though I do love coffee. Then we've got a tablespoon of chia seeds, a tablespoon of honey to help sweeten and bind everything together, and then, of course, a pinch of salt. Grab my handy dandy spatula and we're gonna start to mix this one together. You're gonna see this one's a little bit drier. That's okay, that's the way it's supposed to be. It'll start to come together as you go. And actually what I suggest you do, which is what I'm gonna do, if it seems very dry, just add a tablespoon of water and that will loosen things up a bit. And you'll also see it brings that rich green color out from the matcha as well. So again, I like to finish it with my fingers, and once you can pick it up and pinch it together and you see that it's sticking, that's how you know it's ready to go. So I will just scoop up a scant tablespoon of the batter, put it in my hands. Remember, we're doing a combination of rolling and pinching and shaping until you've got a little ball. Into the airtight container it goes, and then I'll just repeat till I've worked through all of that dough, which is ultimately gonna get you about 9 energy balls. And I will say this as a side note for my people who like to be very precise. If you really wanted them to be accurate in size, each one is gonna weigh about 20 grams. So you could always do that if you wanted precision. These are great when you wanna like grab something before or after a workout because you get that little pop of protein as well. And you'll see that this one has a little bit of a drier texture, but I just love the texture. They're so good and they have this little mild grassy matcha flavor. I think this one is my hubby's favorite. Okay, last but not least, we are going to do a fan favorite. This is probably one of the most popular energy balls that I have on my blog. But before I dive in, I just want to share a little bit more about today's sponsor, Element. Element is my go-to favorite electrolyte company that I lean on a daily basis to feel hydrated and energized. Each packet contains a science-based balance of sodium, potassium, and magnesium. These are 3 key electrolytes that are going to help you feel hydrated, energized, and functioning at your best. From muscle performance to having a great night's sleep, electrolytes can really help to support you. Now, a lot of people don't realize that electrolyte imbalance can show up as headaches, muscle cramps, fatigue, or restlessness or sleeplessness. Personally, I notice a huge difference between drinking plain water and drinking water with electrolytes in it. I've said this before, I know it sounds crazy, but it's like I can literally feel the hydration entering my cells, and I am so curious to know if any of you have had that experience as well. And not only do I feel great when I drink it, but I really look forward to it because I enjoy them so much. The flavors are absolutely delicious. They have grapefruit, raspberry, watermelon, citrus, orange, mango chili, chocolate. They even have unflavored, and then sometimes they have seasonal flavors as well. And the great news is Element offers everybody in the Clean and Delicious community a free sample pack with any purchase. So you're going to get the fan favorites. You're going to get 8 single servings, 2 each of those favorite flavors with any purchase absolutely free. So you can taste them and then decide which one is your favorite. They really are all so good. And you can grab yours by using my link, which is drinkelement.com/Danny Spies. So that's www.drinklmnt.com/Danny Spies. And that link will also be waiting for you down in the description box below. Okay, so the final flavor I saved, I don't want to say I saved the best for last, but I saved one of our favorites for last, and it is an oatmeal peanut butter chocolate chip energy ball. It's just a classic. It's like taking a little bite of cookie dough. So again, we're working in one big bowl, and I'm going to start with a 1/2 cup of rolled oats along with a 1/4 cup of ground flax seeds. It's important that they're ground up. You don't want to use the whole seeds. I usually just buy them ground just like this. So that's the easiest way to do it. Or you could of course pop them into a coffee grinder and ground them up yourself. Then I have a 1/4 cup of peanut butter. Again, make sure that it's nice and runny and drippy like you see mine is here. And yes, you could absolutely do a sunflower seed butter or any other type of nut butter you have on hand. Then I have a few tablespoons of honey, a tiny splash of vanilla extract, and then of course our chocolate chips. and a hefty pinch of sea salt. I'll just get in there and stir this with my spatula. I like to get it started with the spatula. Then I usually swap over to my fingertips, just squish it, get all of the ingredients well combined. And when you pick it up and you can squish it together and it sticks, that's how you know you are ready to roll your balls. So you know the routine, about a tablespoon into the palm of my hands. We're doing some rolling, we're doing some pinching, we're doing some shaping. Into an airtight container they go. And then these again will happily last in the fridge up to 2 weeks, or in the freezer for months. And I'm telling you, this one, it just reminds me of like cookie dough. So simple, so delicious. And if I'm being completely honest, my children, this one is their favorite. So now, of course, the question is, which of these 3 flavors do you think you're gonna make first? Because I'm telling you, this weekend is the perfect time to do it when you're doing your meal prep. Come on down to the comments below and let me know. And if you like easy, healthy snack ideas just like this, then you're definitely gonna wanna check this video out next. As always, thank you so much for watching. Thank you, Element, for sponsoring this video, and I will see you all back here next time with some more clean and deliciousness. Cheers.